Ever wonder if there is any truth behind using crystals? Can crystals actually raise your vibration? And can they make a difference in your meditation? Find out the answers and more in this video. Life brings change with each season. At times, we are barren with every part of us exposed. As we come into our own, we produce blossoms that symbolize our potential. When the time is right, our blooms open to give and to receive. When we have nothing else to offer, we shed our former glory and we begin where we started. This is the cycle of nature, and this is my story. Hello, YouTube family. This is Cherie back with another video. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. If you haven't already, please check out my last video entitled The Importance of Grounding. It's what I do at the start of each meditation, and it has me operating in my power throughout the day. As I continue on my journey of manifestation and meditation, I wanted to share with you some tools I've discovered along the way, and if you guessed crystals, you are right. I've heard people talk about crystals and seen them around in shops. I didn't really understand them as I was still expanding on my journey of self-discovery. It wasn't until I was watching a documentary about couples and how they navigated their relationship that I decided to take a closer look. In the episode, the spouse shared their struggles that they had been having both in their life and in their career, so much so they had reached a breaking point. Things were tough, and a friend had introduced them to meditation as a means to reconnect to themselves. They had found solace and peace in meditation. It helped them reach a place of balance in their life. Their spouse, on the other hand, had a different belief system and did not readily embrace the practice they found so helpful. This is where crystals come into play. In an effort to shift their partner's openness around the changes they were making in their life, they would place crystals in their bed. The spouse, who typically did not like pets, began to embrace their dog and take it along on rides in the car. Little by little, as the person placed different stones in their bed, their partner would respond favorably. And I thought, wow, that's a pretty big shift just by using crystals. At the time, I had been a part of the Pathway program through To Be Magnetic for a few months and had been doing work on healing my inner child and shadow, and I was still plagued with an onslaught of negative thoughts looping in my subconscious and conscious mind. My thought life has always been my Achilles heel, and as of yet, I had not found anything that would grant me the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind I had been looking for, so I thought, why not give crystals a try? This is where my research began. I read lots of articles about the do's and don'ts of crystals, and one article I paid particular attention to was finding a reputable seller that would sell you authentic crystals. Now, this is especially important if you want to incorporate crystals in your life. I Googled shops in my area and realized there were several options, many of which were right near me. When I visited one seller, she advised me to pick a crystal that I was drawn to before she would tell me the healing properties of the crystal. I was intrigued by that approach. I let my eyes wander her offerings until something caught my eye. It was a smooth stone with a reddish brown hue. It was carnelian. She looked at me and said, you must be in transition. She hit the nail on the head. I was becoming a newer version of myself, and I was working really hard to overcome the patterns of my past. It's the whole reason why I enrolled in the Pathway program through To Be Magnetic. I wanted to heal my inner child, which I've discussed in previous videos, and In the coming weeks, I will do another video to delve deeper into the topic. So the healing properties of carnelian are: they stimulate creativity, it promotes abundance and prosperity, and it ignites passion. It was the perfect stone for me at that point in my life. Next, I was drawn to a large, unpolished pink crystal. It was rose quartz. It radiates the energy of peace, kindness, compassion, and empathy. It's one of the primary stones for romantic relationships and other types of unconditional love. Its healing properties include facilitating forgiveness, helping heal difficult relationships, and amplifying loving feelings. By the way, that couple that I mentioned, their partner placed this stone in their bed to improve their relationship. The last crystal I was drawn to was a light green beaded bracelet made of Amazonite. Its healing properties include helping to release bitterness and resentment, helps to bring balance and soothing after an emotional trauma, and facilitates honesty between partners. Now, call it magic, coincidence, synchronicity, or God's will. I needed the healing properties from each of these crystals. I was drawn to them because that's what my soul was asking for to heal. So, my recommendation to you is let the crystal call you in and find out what it has to offer for healing. This was super important to me because it would be months before I would embark upon my own meditation journey. I wanted a way to self regulate. By that, bring my emotions and energy back into balance. I find it really hard when my energy and emotions spiral out and leave me in fear, frustration, and anger. Crystals are a wonderful way to bring balance to your life if you don't have other tools like meditation or breath work or visualization at your disposal. Now, I know you're probably wondering, all this sounds good, but can crystals actually do all of that? This is where science comes into play. And if you're anything like me, science takes me over the threshold of belief for a lot of things that I question. Although science does not validate the healing properties through scientific studies, the anecdotal evidence is overwhelming, and the fact that everything is energy, and so are crystals. In fact, quantum physics, even at its most basic, shows that all matter is made up of vibrating strings of electricity. So is your body, and so are crystals. Crystals impact the human body through entrainment. Entrainment is a temporal locking process by which the frequency of one system entrains the frequency of another system. This is a universal process that can be observed both in physical systems as well as biological systems. Case in point, a group of women hanging out together and all of their menstrual cycles will sync up. As with all matter, crystals have their own vibration. The human body also has its own vibration and can be subject to entrainment when it comes in contact with other vibrations. When you work with crystals, it can change your mind, your body, and your energy spirits through entrainment. Crystals typically have a higher vibration than the human body, and they tend to raise your vibration. Vibrating at a higher rate is helpful for human beings as it allows us to advance spiritually and moves us in the right direction mentally, emotionally, and physically. As you work with crystals, be open to the experience and set aside any preconceived notions. Also, set aside any expectations as they tend to limit your experience. Most importantly, choose crystals that attract you because chances are they are calling you for a reason. Over the course of a few weeks, I had amassed a small collection purchased from various shops in the area. In addition, I also purchased a few books to expand my knowledge and to plan additions to my collection. Each day, I would select a handful of crystals to carry in my pocket. In the days that followed, I noticed I had more patience, a more positive outlook, and less negative thoughts. After a few weeks of using crystals, I was standing in my shower getting ready for the day, and I had a barrage of negative thoughts fill my mind. This stood out to me because this had not happened in a while. I asked myself, where are all these thoughts coming from? I immediately did an inventory on my life to see what had changed, when suddenly I remembered I had not been carrying my crystals. I had set them on my nightstand and simply forgot to carry them with me. That experience alone showed me the power of using crystals. This concludes part one of using crystals in your meditation journey. Stay tuned for part two, where I will discuss the myths of crystals, how to program your crystals, and much more. You don't want to miss it. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, as it helps this video get seen by more viewers. I would love to hear from you, so drop me a comment below. Until next time, take care.